Happy Sunday and welcome to the first episode of the Sunday Dinking Club podcast. I'm going to be putting this on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast of choice, and also on YouTube where you're watching this now. Today we launched our first email newsletter as well, and I say we, and when I say we, I mean me. I'm downtown Logan Brown. I'm a reformed tennis player turned pickleballer, 3.5 at best, and I love the game. And what I want to do here is I want to bring the top stories that are happening in pickleball to you in an easy to digest format that's quick and easy. Gives you something to talk about on the court with your friends other than who's hitting the best third shot drop. All right, so let's get started. Central Park just opened 14 new courts. They are temporary, but this is pretty awesome coming into spring and summer. Central Park claims that around 42 million visitors come into the park every year. Now, 42 million people aren't going to stop and play pickleball, but this is great exposure for the sport and really awesome. If you're visiting New York this summer, you should totally stop by and play. This is pretty amazing. Now, when we talk about great things that are coming with the sport, there's normally bad news as well. So coupled with that, we just learned that Denver, the city of Denver, shut down pickleball courts at one of its local parks this past week. Why, you may ask? Well, noise. So we've maybe all heard the stories. If you haven't, there's a lot of stories floating around YouTube and Twitter about the noise complaints that are happening around pickleball communities, or in communities that have pickleball, rather. And Denver officials noted that the city ordinance has a max of 55 decibels. So coming in at 70 is clearly above the 55 that they allow. Can pickleball become either a quieter sport, or will communities be willing to adopt the louder noises? If you guys don't follow this fellow, there's an awesome guy on Instagram. The account is called Enhance Pickleball. But this guy's got a great video about this concept ball that he made. He claims that this ball doesn't have any impact on the performance, bounce, the ability to affect spin, all those things as a normal pickleball. But it's actually much, much quieter. I've not heard of anyone using this yet, but I'd be very interested. As someone who came from tennis before, I didn't realize how quiet tennis was until I played pickleball. But let's see where things go. So on to the next thing. Paddlegate 2.0. For anyone who watched the PPA Red Rock Open that happened this weekend, the middle of the week through Saturday, because of Easter weekend, Championship Sunday turned into Championship Saturday. But during Wednesday, it was Paddlegate Wednesday. Both Travis Rettenmeyer, who's the owner of the Florida Smash, fellow Selkirk pro, and Leah Jansen, who you may know, she's a top women's pro. They were both playing singles on Wednesday, and both called out their opponents for delaminated paddles. If you don't know what delamination is, essentially these new thermoformed paddles are creating basically a separation in the middle of the paddle and the outer face, the carbon fiber. It's like this trampoline effect on the ball. But interestingly enough, the pros feel like they are confident in the fact that they can hear the difference in the paddle. They can see the difference in the ball and the speed and the way that these pros are able to kind of form the ball and move it in different directions when the paddle is delaminated. So Travis Rettenmeyer, there's a link here to go watch his video. Definitely worth it. Leah Jansen was definitely calling her opponent out the entire match, just chirping at her. And it's really interesting. So now what's important for you to know is that if you're going out on the market and buying one of these new paddles, even carbon like I'm wearing, their new 1X or 2X, then you have like Vatic and Legacy, they're all kind of being called out right now for this delamination. I don't really think it's the specific brand's fault. I think it's just the new way that they're developing these paddles. And going back to the pros now, if these paddles, which were both sent off to the PPA and the USA Pickleball Association, if they're found to actually be delaminated, and the players, of course, played with them, then they're saying, as in the PPA and the USA Pickleball, based on the rules, they would have to forfeit their medals and their winnings. Now, Tyson McGuffin won two gold medals this weekend. So if his paddle in singles was delaminated, is he in trouble for the entire weekend? Does he forfeit his singles gold medal that he won? I'm not sure. This is new to the sport for sure. And what I do know is that the PPA is planning on bringing on-site testing for delamination to the next tournament. All right, next up on the playbook here, singles. Leah Jansen again. So bring her back into the mix. So she tweeted out last week that singles should be removed altogether from these pro tournaments. She basically cited that it's very tough on the body, has the lowest viewership of these pro tournaments, and the financial benefit is just not worth it. My little hot take here is that singles, unfortunately, is really set up for failure, in my opinion. But again, something has to be set up for failure, I suppose. These tournaments typically start on Thursdays and run through Sunday. Thursday and Friday and Saturday are all individual days for the specific types of pickleball. So it's singles, men's and women's doubles, and then mixed doubles. And then Sunday's reserved for the championship matches. Now, singles typically starts at the very beginning on like a Thursday. And this week it was even worse. It was on a Wednesday, right? So unless you're retired and you love pro pickleball, you're probably not tuning in on a Wednesday or Thursday. And in my opinion, that's why viewership is so low. Now, I looked this up on the PPA website, and it turns out that first place in singles for the PPA tournaments pays out like $3,700. So it's not nothing, but it's maybe not a lot if you have to play through 5 or 6 matches, and then you're also trying to play and compete in mixed doubles and your gender doubles as well. So it's a lot there, but I'm all about like free commerce as well. So if the players feel like it's too much and not enough payout, then you should see people dropping off. But if players want to play this and they want to win, and the tournaments will continue to pay them out, then I say more power to them. But I'm not sure that any tournament or any organization like the PPA or even the MLP, which will do singles in the Dream Breaker, I don't think they're going to get rid of this anytime soon. So sorry, but not sorry. All right, stat of the week. Hopefully, many pickleball fans saw that some of the tennis greats of tennis past got together on ESPN, not Plus, not News, not the Ocho, the real ESPN, to play pickleball. We had Andre Agassi, Andy Roddick, John McEnroe, and Michael Chang all got together to play singles and doubles on ESPN, which was pretty great. It was amazing. These guys actually practiced pretty hard. I saw some Instagram posts from these folks like actually practicing weeks and weeks in advance. So they came out there and it wasn't just like a joke to them. They played hard and they wanted to win. So we saw some really great points. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube if you want to watch it. But the stat of the week is actually that they averaged over the time period, I think it was a 3-hour event, and it averaged 670,000 viewers. So I saw one post that mentioned that actually exceeded some MLB, Major League Baseball, and NHL games, National Hockey League. And to top that, it actually beat the WNBA Finals viewership, which was like, which is great. I think that's awesome for the sport. Getting these guys together. I think these exhibition matches, we saw this as well in Dallas with the PPA. We had Dirk and we had Jordan Spieth, these guys getting together. Getting these mega athletes that are great at other sports into pickleball, I think just helps kind of rise the tide of all ships. I'll leave you with this. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, that's amazing. This is my first go at this. I'm hoping that it will only get better from here. Please subscribe to the newsletter. It's Sunday Dinking Club on Instagram or Twitter. So check me out. There's a link there to subscribe. The email might be better than seeing my face or hearing my voice if you're listening on the podcast. But if you like this format, then give me a like and just let me know your feedback on the episode and what I can do to improve it. I'll give you guys some results from this weekend in case you missed the Red Rock Open. So in men's singles pro, Tyson McGuffin won over Pablo Tejas. It was actually a really good match. Pablo was up like 8-1 in the first game, and Tyson came all the way back and won. And then it was a bit of a snowball effect from there. Pablo gave him a really good second game, but it just felt like Tyson was on the money there. The men's doubles pro was amazing. So Tyson and Brendan Long If you don't know this guy, which you probably don't, he was like on the lower level of MLP, got bumped up when Tyson got hurt a week and a half ago and played for Tyson's team. Then Tyson got dropped by James Ignatovich. Tyson brought Brendan Long into the mix, and they played lights out. Absolutely amazing doubles match. If you can find it on Instagram, on YouTube, go watch it. It was great. It was against Deckel Bar and Colin Johns. The mixed doubles was amazing. James and Anna Bright are an incredible duo. Watch them if you haven't already. Very, very good. Good match. But I would say that before you watch the mixed, go watch the men's doubles and the women's doubles, which were fantastic. We didn't have any Ben Johns this weekend. We didn't have any Annalie Waters this weekend. They were taking a break. But I think it really helped bring some other pros, surface them up to the top so that we could watch these other folks play and not have the same old winner every single weekend. So next on the PPA Tour schedule is the OGO Newport Beach Shootout presented by Vizzy. And that's on April 21st. So we got like 2 weeks until that. And then the North Carolina Open presented by Intralinks. That's on May 4th. I'll be there. So hopefully I'll see you. I'm going on Saturday. The great thing about the North Carolina Open, which is in Charlotte, is that Jack Sock and Tyson McGuffin are playing doubles together. Whew. It's going to be lights out. Be there if you can. Say hi if you see me. I'll be there on Saturday. And thanks so much for tuning in. Remember to subscribe, give me some feedback, tell me how it is, where are you playing, what's going on in your world. I want to hear from you, and hope for many more of these to come. So take it easy. We'll see you next time. Happy dinking.